Okay, so I just recently got into drones. A few months ago, the meter company sent me the S20 Lite and they wanted me to test it. Before then, I hadn't really flown drones that much, like only maybe twice. So it was fun. Needless to say, after that, I was bit by the bug and I had to fly something that was a little bit more upgraded, a little bit more better. So I bought the Potensic Atom 2. And if you want to see how I came to that conclusion, I have a link to that video down in the description. I learned a few things flying that drone. So in this video, what I want to talk about is the 5 things that I learned about drones in my recent experience. I discovered that not all drones are the same. They are different. So they have different purposes, different functions, and different features. At first, I thought a drone was a drone and you could do the same thing with it that you do with all the other ones. That's not true. There are toy drones, camera drones, they have professional type drones, cinematic drones, like different types of things, even FPV, so first person view drones. And they all do different things, have different features, all of that. So what I discovered is that you can't get a toy drone and expect it to do things like a cinematic drone. Toy drones have different features, like a brushless motor might be a big feature for a toy drone, but in cinematic drones, all of them have it. And toy drones do little tricks, like you hit the button and it'll flip over and do all of this stuff, and cinematic drones don't have that. And then you have like FPV. Those are all the cool videos you see. I learned about that very quickly, that a video drone or a cinematic drone is not an FPV drone. They might share some of the same features, they're not the same. So don't take your video drone and treat it like a FPV because it has sports mode. I learned that because I crashed it in sports mode, then I had to use the insurance to get another one. I won't do that again. I'll just buy an FPV drone or build one or something like that. So do not think that you're gonna go on Amazon and pay $69 for a drone and then expect it to perform like the Air 3S, that's $1,000. They are not the same. Drones are not the same. Don't be fooled by that. And in the drone world, you get what you pay for. So you pay for the extra features like the obstacle avoidance and the optical flow sensors and the cameras that got magnification out of this world and 4K and HDR, all of that. You get what you pay for. Toy drones won't do that. So don't buy one of these Amazon drones for $69 or $99 and expect it to do the same. Now, and then also, if you want to get started into drones, I wouldn't buy those either because they're not the same. They work by Wi-Fi, so the distance is limited, limited speed, and the camera quality is just not good. So you need to go up to the next level. So maybe like a video drone or a cinematic drone, like the Potensic Atom or the Mini 4 Pro or the Mini 4K, one of those. That's good to learn on because it has just enough features so that you can get used to flying it, but then not so much that it's cost prohibitive. So if you crash it, then you won't be mad because you spent $1,000 and now you got to change this thing in. Drones have limitations. Now, the more money you spend, the more features they have, the less limitations you get. But if you're on a budget and you're trying to get a toy drone, something that's like $99, you're going to have a host of limitations, a lot of them. For example, even a drone that I had, the Potensic Atom 2, doesn't have obstacle avoidance, but it's significantly cheaper than the Mini 4 Pro or the Air 3, even the Hover Air. All of those drones are close to $1,000. So I can't expect, a $400 drone to overcome the same limitations as a $1,000 drone because they have more sensors, more things in them. It's not the same. And you know what? With the price, there's always a trade-off. So for example, you can't be upset about a sub 249 gram drone not being able to track a moving car going 50 miles per hour. That's not going to work. I mean, it's small. It's not built for that. I have one and it can track a car, but once you go past 25 miles per hour, it loses it. It can't keep up. But that's limitations. You didn't pay for that. You didn't pay for not obstacle avoidance. So you have to watch and be careful and learn a little bit more. So if you want to overcome limitations, you got to pay more. You got to get something with more features and specifications. The specifications that they tell you are in perfect conditions. So for example, I have the Potensic Atom again, and they say it can get up to 6 miles. You can fly 6 miles away. I haven't been able to go 1 mile yet because it can go 6 miles in a lab. That means there's no interference from Wi-Fi and other signals. The weather's just right with the temperature. Then you're limited by batteries. So let's say you can fly 6 miles out. Can you fly 6 miles back? See, it's something to think about. So there are limitations, and you have to be okay with that. You got to accept that limitations come with the game. And again, the two biggest things with limitations are battery life and distance. So with battery life, if you buy a sub 249 gram drone that's small, the battery's not that big. So it's not going to last like 50 minutes of flight time. They're going to tell you it get 30, 36 minutes, and you might get 24. And that's good. You got to be okay with that. It's going to tell you it can go out 6 miles, it can go out 10 kilometers, it can go out 10 miles. But that's dependent on the battery. That's dependent on the weather conditions, the wind, how it has to fight the wind. It's dependent on the temperature, because the hotter it is, the faster the battery drains. You got to be okay with the limitations. You have to know that what they tell you is in a perfect environment. And I can't even blame them for doing that. So I also learned that you have to take time to practice. Now, if you come from the video game generation and you're used to that, your learning curve is going to be shorter. But if you have not, you need to take time to practice. Go out in an empty field somewhere and just fly it in circles. Learn how, when you pitch this way, what's going to happen? When you yaw to this side, what's going to happen? You have to practice. You can't get those cinematic shots like everybody else does without practice. Because some people think they're going to go out there and do all this cinematic stuff and do that. But the stick movements, you have to be good at it and know what happens where. So take the time to practice. And a lot of them, the one I have has some AI features and track modes and all of that. And it still takes practice because you have to get it into position. You got to know what you're looking at, how to frame the shot, all of these things. And then you let it take over for you, but it still takes practice. So take the time to practice. So here's the last thing I learned, and it's important. If they offer insurance and you're a beginner, go ahead and buy it. It's not very expensive. For the one I had, it's like $39 for a year, $79 for 2 years. And it covers everything. So if the drone, because this can happen, the drone can lose connection and just fly away and you can't find it. Then look, your investment is gone. It's done. If you crash, like I did, because you think you have an FPV drone, it's going to cover that. You pay your deductible and you're done. And the deductible might be 40 or 50 bucks, but then you get a whole nother drone. And you can do that a couple of times a year. So just buy the insurance. Just go ahead and do that. It's in your best interest. Now, if you were more experienced and that's not an issue, then don't buy it. But as a beginner, buy the insurance. Go ahead and budget for that. You're going to use it. I hope that you don't go through the learning curve I did. Hopefully this will help you. But I'm telling you, if you get into drones, take heed to those things. Just know, all drones are not the same. They all have limitations. What they tell you happens in perfect conditions. Take the time to practice and buy the insurance. So, if you would like to know what I thought about my first real drone, you'll see that link below and what the Potensic Atom is. If you want to know how I got to that choice of buying that, I had that video below too. So that's all I got. So y'all be good, be blessed, and I'll see you later. I'm out. Peace.